It's working, all right. So, even though, snap, crackles, pause. All right, so once again, instead of it saying 2-5, we are actually doing 2-8 today. I've already gave you your homework. Don't worry about your homework right now. I just want to make sure I got it out before class ended, okay? This is completely based off of your calculator. Everything we're going to do today is off of your calculator. Make sense? Except for the first part. Okay, so we're looking at modeling today, meaning sometimes out in the real world we have material that then reflects mathematical concepts. Okay? How many of you guys have ever heard of line of best fit? Okay, once again, a line of best fit gave you a bunch. Ooh, no, that's not it. It's been a while. Hold on. Okay, line of best fit gave you a bunch of points, correct? Maybe it even was more correlation. Everybody remember this? Okay, and a line of best fit basically said, here is the line that fits that data the best, correct? If you recall, that's called a regression line. Okay, and we're going to use that today. Okay, so first off, how many points does it take to create a linear equation? 2. Okay, the reason why it's 2 is because technically there is 2 unknowns, b, m, beyond x and y, right? I could take these points, x and y, and I can plug them into that equation to get 2 equations with 2 unknowns, which means a system of equations. Okay, let me explain. Here we go. So what I'm going to do, sorry if you're over here, please jump over. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to plug in the -3 from here into the x. So I have m times -3 plus b. What should that equal? It should equal 2 because that was our y value. Okay? Everybody understand where that's at? Okay, now I have another point, right? So therefore I'm going to plug 3 in for x and 8 in for y. Everybody understand where that came from? Right? Now if I simplify this a little bit, okay, this is 2 equals -3m plus b, 8 equals 3m plus b. So this is a system of equations. Because notice I have 2 unknowns. If you have 2 unknowns, how many equations do you need? 2. Does that make sense? If I had 3 unknowns, how many equations do I need? 3, 4, and so on. You get what I'm saying? Okay? So now I could actually use, what method do I use here? Does anybody remember what method is to do that? Jojo? I would not, personally. You can, but it's already set up for elimination. So what I would do is say, okay, -3m plus 3m is 0m's. b plus b is 2b. Not b squared because we're not multiplying. So this would be equal to 10. What's our b value? 5. Everybody good? Okay, b equals 5. So now I could then plug it back in. I'm going to plug it back into this equation. 2. 2 equals -3m plus 5. And then I basically solve, so that's -3 equals -3m by, what did I do there? I subtracted the 5, so m is 1. So, for these 2 points, what is my equation? Well, what's my m value? 1. So I have y equals 1x, which is just x, plus 5. Okay? I could write an equation of a line with 2 points. Okay? Now, so, let me push pause for a minute to figure out something. Okay, so now, now my question comes to this. What kind of regression can you use with 2 points? What's the best one that gets us there? A linear. Why is a linear the best way? How many unknowns is in a linear equation? 2 unknowns, like the m and the b, correct? Or you could call it even y equals ax plus b. Okay? How about 3 points? Which one's going to best work for it? Quadratic, because notice a quadratic has also 3 variables. A, x squared, plus b, x, notice a and b are the variables, and c. Notice there's 3 variables, so therefore I need 3 points. Does that make sense? Because then that'll give me 3 lines. So this is a quadratic. Okay. How about 4 points? What do you guys think? Cubic. The highest that we have on our calculator is a quartic. How many points does that need? 5 points, right? If I have 5 points, that would give me a quartic. How about if I had 6 points? It'd give us a quintic, right? But our calculator doesn't go higher than that. Everybody with me on that? Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use these same points here. I'm going to pull up my calculator. I'm going to move it over. Hold on. We're going to go here. I'll move you over here. Okay. So here's the calculator that she has. I'm going to go back to my main screen. Everybody get your calculators out, please. Okay. Once again, this that I'm showing you is for a TI 8384 combo, right? One or the other. Sometimes it works with the other ones. TI 82, it worked a lot today with it. But some things it didn't. So just be aware, if you have another, like Casio, figure that crap out. Because we already know that's part of what's possible, right? I'm going to go back to my main screen. Okay? The first thing I would like you guys to do is I'd like you guys to find your catalog, which I'm going to hit the second button and 0. Does everybody see second 0? It's the catalog. Okay. You only have to do this once, so as soon as you do it, you don't ever have to worry about doing this ever again. Okay? I am going to look for what we call our diagnostics. So what I'm going to do is see this button x raised to the -1? I'm going to push that. That'll push D. Okay, notice how I skipped right to the D? Could I just scroll down if I wanted to? Sure. But I hit D, so I didn't have to. Then I'm going to just push down until I find diagnostic on. What am I going to do? Hit enter. It comes to my main screen. Hit enter again, and it says done. Anybody need help catching up to that point? Did we all do that? We're all good? Anybody not good? You've done this before when you did your line of best fit. I bet you guys have done this. Okay? So what you need to do is you go to your stat button. Okay? We are going to insert, okay? We're going to insert information in our edit. So we just hit enter. So in my case, I have some information in my L1 and L2. How many of you guys have information in your L1 and L2? Awesome. So we need to clear that out. The easiest way to do so is to push up into L1 and L2, and then make sure you hit the clear button, and it gets rid of that column. Oops. Let's try it again. Is it clear? Oh yeah, there we go. I just had to push down. Okay, I hit clear again, and then I push down, and it's gone. Okay? Don't hit delete, or it'll delete your column. Don't hit delete. Okay? Always hit clear. Okay. Now, how many of you guys do not have L1? Because that could be a possibility. Awesome. So when I talk to you, you're going to use probably L2 and L3 instead of L1 and L2. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Just use your first 2 columns. Okay, everybody with me? Okay, so we have this. We're going to put this information in. So, where's my screen? Where's my thing? Highlight. x's go into L1, the y's go into L2. So I'm going to push over to L1. My first x is negative 3. So I go negative 3, enter. Who's my other x? 3, enter. Okay, now what y value correlates with negative 3? 2, so I hit 2, enter. Who correlates with the 3? Is everybody understanding where I got those points from? Are we all on the same page? Who said no? Okay. Somebody said no. All right. So now I'm going to hit back to my main screen. So second, quit. I'm back there. Okay. So I want to write an equation of a line. I'm going to go back into my stat button. Stat. Over to calculate on the top. See how it's on the top? It says calculate. Push over. Okay, I am looking because I have 2 points. Am I looking for my linear regression, my quadratic, my cubic, or my quartic? Linear. So I'm going to go down to linear. Right? I'm going to hit enter. Okay, now, if you are a newer calculator, you'll pull up this screen. Okay, out of this class right now, who has this screen? Quite a few of you. Usually if you have a TI-84 or newer, the newer ones, you're going to pull up to this screen. Okay, what this tells me, so that tells me my x values are in L1. In your case, did this screen pop up for you? Okay, then I'll come back to you in a minute. But, okay, that's okay. I'll come back to it in just a second. If you didn't have it, just hold off. I'm going to explain to you guys what you would do in just a moment. Okay? So, what this says is L1 is where I put my x's. What if I put my x's in L2? What do I need to do? I need to change it. And if you'll notice, above the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 has some L1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5, 6s. So I can change it by doing that. Does that make sense? Because that's how you're going to go about it. Okay, Josh? Okay. So, but for me, my x list is in L1. I hit enter. My y list is in L2, so I'm going to hit enter. My frequency list, I don't have to worry about that. I just hit enter. I will store something later, but not right now. I'm going to hit enter, and then I hit calculate. Boom. Now, if you were on, let me get an eraser out here. If I was on the other one, okay, you guys should have went to your main screen. How many of you guys have TI-83s in here? Anybody an 83 user? Okay. So for you guys, it came back and it said Lin, reg, I don't know if it had the AX plus B, but it might have, right? Okay, and then what you need to do after that is hit comma, who is your x's with? Not a comma, excuse me, a parenthesis. I said comma, but I meant parenthesis. So parenthesis, L1, where do I find L1? Second one, comma, L2, or in your case, Josh, you're going to do L2, L3 because your stuff was in those lists. Correct, Josh? Comma's up by the parentheses. Okay, and then I'm going to put parenthesis again. I can't show you what that looks like because the calculator I'm using right now on the board isn't in that model. Does that make sense? But we should all hit enter now, and we should all be at this type of an idea. Are we all on the same page? Anyone in here not have that on their screen? Yes. Okay? Okay, that's your diagnostics. So, with that being said, okay, now guess what that just wrote for me, guys? What's my A value I plug up in A? 1. This 5. B, isn't that the exact same equation I had before? Y equals x plus 5. Your calculator can write an equation of a line for you. It can write an equation of a quadratic for you. It can write an equation of a cubic or a quartic. Pretty cool, isn't it? Okay? So, does everybody understand that? Now, what does the r squared mean? The r squared means, I'm not quite sure, but I know what the r means. It asks me, what kind of correlation do I have? Okay? If it is 1, that means I can get an exact equation of that. It means it has perfect correlation. What if it's a negative 1? It just means its slope is negative. If I had a negative 1 on a quadratic, it just means it's flipped down instead of up. Make sense? Okay, because we have negative correlation and positive correlation. So if it is closer to 1, that means it has positive correlation. In our case, because we only had 2 points, it's going to be an exact equation of a line, hence why it's positive. Not positive, but positive 1. Okay? With me? If it was a negative slope, it would give me, it's still 2 points, a negative slope would give me an r value of negative 1 because it has perfect negative correlation. Does that make sense? Hi guys, anything I can help you? Back on to you. No, it'd still give you a negative slope for your A, but just understand if you had a negative slope, your correlation would be negative 1. Because notice what happens here. Let me get some spots here. It's been a while since I've used this one. Anyway, we'll go back. Okay. So, once again, if I have stuff looking like this, now it's everywhere, right? But really, it's increasing. There is a positive correlation there, isn't it? Okay, that's when your R is closer. How do I do it? Closer. Did I spell that right? Closer to 1. Okay? If it looked like this. Okay, it's not perfect, but it is your R value is closer to negative 1. Now, if it looks like this, your R is closer to 0. Now, does it always have to be linear? Nope, it could be, like notice, that's very close to a quadratic, right? You know what I'm saying by that? So therefore it can have a correlation to a quadratic. You with me? Okay. Anybody have a question there? Go with it. It's called correlation. R is correlation, so it tells you how correlated it is. If it is 1, that means it's direct correlation, meaning this is the equation of the line with those points. It was exact. It was exactly what we needed. Oops. Okay? Chister. Not right now, no. Just understanding what it means and where it's at. Okay, are we all feeling happy ho-hos and good luck and good stuff? And yeah. Okay, onward. We're going to onward to lowerness. I don't have to do that. Okay, I would like you guys, I'm going to push pause after I tell you which ones. So this one right here, I'm going to ask you guys to find the line. Why is it a line? 2 points. What's this one going to be? Quadratic because it is 3 points. What's this one? Cubic because it is 4 points. So, now I'm going to push pause just for a moment, and I'd like you guys to use your calculators to find what those are for me. Okay, go ahead and do so. So, one thing I would suggest you guys do as well, we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but if you would like to have this on your phone so you know what to do so you don't have to write it down, these are the exact steps of how to go ahead and put it in your calculator. I'm going to push pause, let you guys have a little bit of time to take pictures. Alright, so we're back with it. So now as you have done this, I am going to go ahead, just so we can check to make sure, I would like, raise of thy hand, that you have number 1. I'll call on you. Joe, go. Y equals. Did you guys notice there that my correlation on that one was -1? Your R value was -1 on that guy. Savannah, can you tell me C? Okay, so just tell me the a's. Here we go. Y equals, what's the a value? A is 2, so that's 2x squared. B is 3, so that's 3x. C is 6, so that's a plus 6. Do we all have these? Get a good feel? Okay, who has the fourth one? I lost your name.
Jared.
Jared, I'm sorry, Jared. Go.
I think I got it.
Y equals?
Negative 3 halves.
Negative 3 halves? No.
I guess my calc.
Okay, so we're going to try somebody different. Go ahead, Josh. So I got a second on that one. More than a second. Does a lot of people have that answer? Okay, because if we get a lot of people, that means most of the time we get it right. If not, I can help you a little bit later. If you're on B Day, I can see you on Monday. That's for them. You didn't know. Okay. So, any questions? We doing okay? Feeling hooty hotty, hey? Okay, here we go. So, now, Amaya just asked, Mr. Roberts, why do we, or did you ask that? Why do we use these? Well, sometimes, like I said, oops, sorry, Sam Crackle, come over here. Oh. Right here? Oh. Thank you. I'm like, I know it's there. Okay, we are going to do number 3 together. Okay? So, how is this used? Well, like I said, sometimes this information can be used on different scales. Okay? So as we look into this, it could be a quadratic, it could be a cubic, it could be a what? Huh? That says 3 right there to me. That says A. Oh, well, awesome. I'm doing number 9 for you. There you go. Okay? Awesome. So, I didn't want to tell people. Why do you always do that? Okay. So, this is talking about gold and production and all that fun jazz. Me, personally, when it's years, I hate to put 1995 in. For the fact of the matter, that gives me some large values when I put my equation back in. Does that make sense to everyone? Yes, no? So what I like to do is this guy's considered who? 85. 90. 95. 100. Because that's 100, right? Away from, if I'm saying 1985, that's just me personally. You could do 1985 and just put it in there. It doesn't matter, but then you just got bigger windows to mess with and stuff. Just do 85. Yeah. Why? Okay, whatever. I don't care. Whatever. Doesn't matter. But on your test, I will tell you specifically what I want it to be, just for the fact that I only want to look for one answer. Does that make sense? Everybody with me? Okay. So, the year, okay, sometimes people ask me, Mr. Roberts, which one goes in which? Okay? Who goes X's, who goes Y's? Well, if you remember back, I don't know when, I remember when I taught Algebra 2, or even Algebra 1, we talked about independent and dependent variables. Okay? Dependent, meaning it relies upon others, okay, gives you the X and the Y. Dependent is always your Y value, your independent is X. So, does the year depend upon the gold production, or does the gold production depend upon the year? Gold production depends on the year. Okay, so therefore that's why these guys are my X's, these guys are my Y's. Go to it. Put them in, little doggies. Hurry, put them in. Guys, you're going too slow. Already gave you enough time. You shush me. Shush up. Maybe not you shush it. All right. I love you, though. Okie doke. Everybody doing well. Bacon, you doing good? I had bacon today. On my chicken, it was so good, I'll tell you what. Huh? What's your last name? Maybe he has a house full of bacon that I can come over to. Okay, so here we go. We should be ready, right? Sierra, you got it? Sierra's going to be my voice person. So Mr. Robertson, Tanner, Shishi, Hootie, Shih. Okay, hi. Y equals. Oh. I'll let you get there. I'm going to push pause because I've already picked on you. I'm going to let you do it. Sierra's back rolling. I didn't give up on her. She went through. She's ready to go. Let's see if we all have the same answers. Okay, so y equals 0.038 x cubed x squared minus 30,000 something. 875 point. Okay. Now, that's awesome. Did we all get that? Why are they funky? Dispatcher, let me ask you a question. Did you do that one as a cubic or a quartic or a quadratic? Why? Because there's 4 points, right? Could it better be set maybe as a quadratic, though? It could. For our data, it could. But because there's 4 points, that'll automatically, no matter what, give me this. Now, Amaya asked me, Mr. Roberts, really, how are they pulling up with this number? What they're doing is, when you guys did systematic equations with matrices, right? You guys remember how you guys did row echelon form? You had to get the 1, zeros everywhere. You guys ever do that? Okay. That's basically a system of equations. And matrices help us do that. That's basically what it's doing. It's just doing it fast because it's a machine. Does that make sense to you? Okay. So, now, my question is, how many of you guys want to put 2010? For us, it's not called 2010. What would we put in there? Ooh, who just said 10? I need to slap them. Thank you. 110. We're going to find out our gold output. How many of you guys want to just plug that in there like this? Because didn't we just estimate? Because that number went, I bet, a lot longer than what Sierra read me. Right, Sierra? So are we estimating? I don't want to estimate. I want it to find out exactly what it is. So let me show you how to do that. Don't tell me to move. Don't tell me to move. Okay, so we're going to go to our machine. Go to the machine. Okay, I'm going to hurry and plug it in, and everybody's going to do this with me, okay? Here we go. So I'm going to hurry and do stat. Oh, you got to turn it on. Stat. A little edit. A little go up there. A little clear. A little down. A little over. A little up. A little clear. Down. Okay, we're all ready. Okay, here we go. 85. Enter. 90. Enter. 95. Enter. And 100. Enter. And I'm going to put their information. 49.3. Enter. You guys already should have this because you just did it, right? What? Huh? So put it back in.
I did not.
Enter. So we all should have it now together. Hey, if you didn't, get back with me. Sorry, you just went through that. This class really paid attention and did exactly what I did. Okay. Now, so once again, we're going to find I like to go back to my main screen. Okay, I'm going to go once again, stat, calculate. I'm going to go down, because there's 4 points, I'm doing a cubic regression. Hit enter. I personally have the computer up here that has, the calculator that has this window. So for those people that have this window, pay attention to me. And if you don't, I'll explain how you go about it one more time again, okay? Everybody with me on this? So, for me, my X list is in L1. For you, it was in L1 as well, right? My Y list is in L2. What is it for you? L3, right? Didn't yours fix? Who was it? You fixed? How'd you fix it? And it popped back up? I reset it 3 today and they didn't pop back up. Hi. Yes, I'm teaching because I need a board for tomorrow's lesson, so when I'm gone, you know, I'm smart like that.
Can I come in your name?
Okay, so now the frequently see list, I don't need that. But see where it says store? We're going to store it somewhere. And I believe on that thing I made you guys take a picture of it, it actually told you how to do it. But we're going to go store, and I'm going to come over here and see where it says right below the down button, it says vars for variables. I hit that. Then, see on top it has yvars? I go over. Then I do a function. And I can put it in any of the y1s, but notice I'm going to put it in y1. Enter. And then I go down and calculate. Did that do anything different than what I did previously? It looks the same. But if I come back up here and hit y equals, look where it's stored. Now you're like, what the heck is that useful for? I'll tell you in just a moment. You should be oohing and on right now, people. Ooh with me. Ooh. And, okay, there we go. Hannah. I will show you. I told you I would show you. Okay, so I'm going to just put him down for a minute because I can't show you exactly what to do. So once again, if you don't have that cool screen that comes up for you, yours just comes up to the cubic reg, right? Okay, it comes right to your main screen and goes looking like that, correct? Okay, so we go parentheses. Okay, L1. Remember where's L1? Just second number 1, right? Comma, L2. Remember that's just second number 2. Okay, now I need to store it, and the storing comes right here. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing here. You're going to hit the vars. You're going to go to yvars. To function. And we want to put it in y1. After I hit that, there should be a y1 right here. Notice this is how you do it for things that didn't have that screen. TI-83s have that. Yes, ma'am. Awesome. Awesome. As Ms. Boucher said, you don't need that, but I'd just be careful because it helps you sometimes to get in that habit. Habits. I love a good habit. Good habit. Okay. Does everybody that didn't have that, all you have to do is do comma y1? Really? Yeah. Ms. Boucher says that if you're already in L1 and L2 here, you could just do y1. But I like this. We could all try something. I love you. Okay. Then, close the parenthesis. Hit enter. You should get the same stuff that popped up here. If you have problems, once again, I can't help you right now because the lesson will be crazy. Right? Just be patient. Sit your bum down. Chittister. Okay, go over there. Hi. Yours comes up through the buttons. I'll help you later. Okay. Here we go. People, shush. They're being a very rowdy class. It is A4. You guys are actually pretty decent. Okay. So, why is that helpful? Watch. Well, first off, ladies and gentlemen, you just shut your mouth. Okay, then I will help you later, like I said. I can't always just help you. Okay, so, look at our X values here. We go from 0, 1900, to where? At least 2025. So let's go from 0, everybody do this with me, 0 to where? Let's go 200. Because notice that means there's some good values. That means we're going from 1900 to 2100 basically, right? On our years. Everybody with me on that? Okay, let's go by scales of at least 10 so we can break that down so it doesn't look as nasty, right? Okay, now look at our Y min. Well, I could probably just do it 0, that's fine. But this is growing pretty fast, and I'm still 10 years away. So let's go up to 500. Okay, and let's do increments of what? What do you guys, oops, excuse me. Whoa, clear that stuff. 0, enter, 500. go by increments of 50. Okay, and then I'm going to hit graph. Look, we got our cubic graph there, don't we? Okay, yes, sir. It doesn't matter to me. You could, so therefore, we just been asked a question. Up here it says numbers after, so therefore what should have this been if I was doing that? 0, 5, 10, 15, and so forth. I think sometimes that's harder than what we need to be, because then you're thinking, okay, how far is 2010 away from 85? Instead of just saying, oh, that's 110. I'm okay with whatever. Like I said, on the test, I will tell you specifically what to do then. Good. Okay? Kate, is it Kaden? I was going to say Kaden, but I didn't want to because I'm a little nervous. Okay. So guys, where have we been living to find stuff in our calculator lately? Second. Great. Look at number 1. What does it say? Value. So I'm going to hit enter. See how it's just flashing at me? It says get my attention. Right? What are we going to put in that? 110. And then hit enter. Boom. It goes out on your graph. Out of 110, my y value is 245.8. Ladies and gentlemen, it just did the work for me. Okay? So we're using a machine to help us estimate the future in this case, right? 2010's in the past officially, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah? On a 1 to 10 scale, how do you guys feel? 9, 10s?
I feel that 11.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is your questions. Here's what your homework is. Okay, so you have your homework paper. The only ones I want you to do on the first